Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay Groves. I'm the development manager for the Pittsburgh Walk to End Alzheimer's. Thank you for joining us for our Walk Talk Wednesday. This is our second one of the year, and we will be discussing getting started early. First, I want to talk about what is Champions Club, because Champions Club is an important part, and a lot of people that belong to Champions Club get started very early in the year. So this is, we're still in early February. You still have a lot of time. Most of our walks are about 6 months away at this point, 6 to 7 months, depending on where you are in our chapter. But what is a champion? So our champions are individuals that are leading the way in the fight against Alzheimer's, and you can do this too. So our Champions Club basically is a fundraising recognition level, and there are 3 levels. You can see below that they're champion, grand champion, and elite. And champion is a $500 fundraising level, grand champion is $1,000, and then elite grand champion is $2,500. So these are all really important distinctions to have. Basically, our Champions Club isn't, yes, it's a fundraising commitment, but at the same time, you are the ones that are truly making a difference in this fight. And when you're being inducted into the Champions Club, you are directly funding the mission. So statistically, our Champions Club, because you're contributing that larger amount to in fundraising, you are getting those more direct access to a lot of recognition from the organization, because we're seeing your dedication to the cause. So when you do certain things and reach certain milestones, I know that some of you can attest to this with your walk managers, and some of you have new walk managers too, so you will see this. But we see when you hit milestones. We see when you hit that $100 fundraising level to earn your t-shirt. We see when you become a Champions Club member, and so on and so forth. We see when you're close to your goal as a team. So this isn't just champions are individual level goals, but when you hit your goal as a team, we see that and we notice. We want to give you a call and say, congratulations, you've done this. Or are you $10 away? Well, you're so close. How can we make this happen? Or if this is a goal that you would want to have, and we'll get to this a little bit later in the training, let us help you break that down. It seems like a large amount, but if you are working early, it's a lot easier to break that up. So our Champions Clubs are very prestigious, and depending on where you're located in the chapter of Pennsylvania, you will have a lot of different options with Champions Club. So it looks different in Pittsburgh, and it looks different in Altoona, and it looks different in Northeast PA. So every site's a little bit different. But in Pittsburgh, we have a separate area just for champions, and that's where the picture on the screen was taken, that we actually have a wall of champions. I know like Lancaster and some other places had a garden of champions last year. But we had a wall that was a backdrop for selfies, and then it was in a separate area away from everybody with a hot breakfast, and they had their own little club. That's what we do in Pittsburgh, and like I said, it's different everywhere, but you'll get those little additional perks on walk day, as well as incentives from the organization, like additional swag. And I know that sometimes isn't important to as many people, but the incentive prizes are fantastic for Champions Club. So just keep that in mind when you hit those levels of distinction, that you get additional perks onto the incentive program. And the incentive programs will actually be published. We just got our team captains kits actually yesterday. So those will be mailed out soon, and you'll get to see the very last page is always our incentive program. So take a look at that, and it'll be available digitally on our each walk website as well. So also wanted to touch on, champions are generally involved in many different areas of our organization. So when we see people hitting these levels, we know that they want to be more involved, and we have those conversations with them. So traditionally, when we work with champions, they are also volunteers for the events or wraparound events throughout the year. They're sometimes advocates for our organization. They're sometimes educators for our community education programs. They help with awareness. Maybe they share their story and our marketing team publishes that out. Like we'll probably have some Valentine's Day stories coming up, but those are just those really nice touches of recognition that we like to provide you for fundraising to this level. So first and foremost, thank you so much. If this is your goal to become a champion, not saying that not becoming a champion is just as important, but we want to make sure that if this is your goal, that we help facilitate it for you. All right, and I know I said a little earlier, I know it sounds like a lot, but let us break it up a little bit for you. And this is the complete wall of champions from Pittsburgh last year, in case you wanted to see it. We actually have a Champions Club challenge going on. It starts today. You probably already received an email about it from one of our walk managers, and it runs through March 10th. So it's called the Heart of a Champion Challenge. So if you reach Champions Club status, which is that minimum of $500 in total fundraising between now and March 10th, you will earn this commemorative Walk to End Alzheimer's sweatshirt. And we have some tips that are posted right there. We'll have a bunch of different tips. I'm not going to go into detail about this right now, but we can, you at least can reference this in the replay. Okay, so getting started early. So I've broken it down into a few steps. So first, most of you here are already registered, but make sure that you register your team and yourself. So that's step one. If you haven't done that and you need some help, or perhaps you forgot your password, I know that keeps a lot of people from registering early because they'll remember their password eventually, right? So if that's something that you just need a little fix, we can actually reset that in a couple of seconds for you. So don't sit there if that's the only thing preventing you from registering your team or yourself. That is something that you can reach out to your walk manager and we can send you a reset email or manually reset it, whichever works best for you. So then you get your team registered. So all these tips that they're coming up, they don't just apply to team captains. So if you're not a team captain, you can still bring your team back. We can just reassign the captain, or we can help the specific team captain if they're coming back as the captain. We can help them get registered as well. So we recommend getting as many of your team members early because you can ask more people to join you in the fight the earlier that you get started. So you never know who you're going to see that supports you. You never know who will reach out and say, hey, I would love to walk with you this year in honor or in memory of someone. This disease, unfortunately, is touching more and more lives across the country and the world. So we want to make sure that we get as much awareness out there, and walk is the best reach for any of that we have. So make sure that you're at least communicating that to your team, or even send them emails from your participant center, text messages from your participant center that say, hey, if you click here, you can register right now. Number two, once you register, while you're registering, make a self-donation. Even if it's something small, it goes a long way. So people who have make self-donations, they actually will fundraise, I believe the current statistics, 4 times as much as those who do not make a self-donation. This is especially helpful if you do social media fundraising, because people tend to give donations if they see that you are leading by example and that you've made a donation to your fundraiser as well. So not just great for social media, but it is an indicator that will produce more gifts in the long run towards your goal. So when you make a self-donation, like I said, it is leading by example. And it's also a great opportunity to challenge people to match you. So say you make a $25 self-donation, you can text 5 to 10 friends or family members and say, hey, I just made this $25 donation. Would you match it to help me reach my goal this year for walk? Usually when you break it up into smaller amounts like that and they see that you're leading the charge with it, most people are going to agree and help out. And sometimes you'll get $100 gift out of that, or sometimes you'll get a legacy gift that's a little bit bigger, or they want to be more involved in one way or the other. So self-donations, do not discount them. It'll also give you an extra badge in your participant center as well. All right, so number 3, take advantage of having more time. So I don't know about you, but I do not like last minute fundraising. It's very stressful. So we definitely want to help you get started, that you don't have that stress as an individual. Now, I have the background as fundraising as a volunteer, just like everyone here. And I know what it feels like in the last few weeks when you're trying to meet your goal. So let us help you get that started early and make sure you're on track so you're not feeling that crunch at the end when you get into the couple weeks before walk. So reach out to more people. That is the best way to take advantage of this time. Start by reaching out to your teammates, like I said. You can ask more people. So it never hurts to ask. The worst you're going to get is a no, that they don't want to donate this year. But if you take the energy and enthusiasm of getting started and making that, like I said, making your self donation, asking more people, you never know who's going to support you, or even join your walk team, or make their own walk team. That's would be incredible, wouldn't it? That just out of one simple outreach, that maybe you learn someone that maybe you haven't talked to in years. Maybe you went to school with them or something, and they've been going through this and didn't know who to reach out to, and maybe you provide that to them to get us connected with them so that we can help them with services. So really, it's a multiple area approach, and we will when we get started a little bit ahead, we can reach more people as an organization, not just more people as a fundraising opportunity. So and also, when you start early, you can do team fundraising a little bit more effectively as a group. So if you're a team that likes to do events, or would like to do an event or fundraising of some sort, you need some time to plan that. And I have attended many golf outings, bowling tournaments, you name it. You can do whatever you need to that your group will like, but you need some time to plan that and get everything lined up. So help us help you make sure if that's something that you have as an idea for your team. We can definitely help set that up for you, and work through all those questions that you may have on how to get this started. Also, with team fundraising, depending on how many, so say you have 5 team members and you all are working towards this, you can actually divide out the money. So if you raise $1,000 at a bowling tournament and there are 5 of you, we can actually divide that between your team members, and you all are almost halfway to Champions Club at that point. So the earlier you do this, the better. I know some teams doing some Super Bowl fundraising and things for this week, and then Kentucky Derby. There are a lot of things that a lot of groups will come together to celebrate, and just think about ways that your group as a team can fundraise through that. And we'll get into a little bit more specific details later. So another advantage of having more time is breaking down your goals. So this can be used for your individual goal or team goal. So don't think that you're limited to this, but I will be using the individual goal as an example today. So we can work backwards in your coaching meetings with how much money you would like to raise this year as an individual and as a team. But reaching Champions Club, even though it might seem tough because those $500,000 and $2,500 levels seem like they're so far away at times, but you need to look at it this way. Based on a 6-month plan with a September walk date, this is what all these calculations are based on. If you raise $84 per month, you'll reach Champion Club. Could be a little bit over. If you raise $167 dollars per month, you'll become a grand champion. And if you raise $417 per month, you can become an elite grand champion. So that's, like I said, it's based on a 6-month plan with a September walk date. So those of us that have October and November walk dates, we have a little bit more time, and those goals shift a little bit. So this is what your coach can help you with in deciding what your goal is. So maybe you have a different amount that you want to reach, or your team has a different amount. We can obviously do the math and help you break it up into obtainable chunks. And this way, I think $84 per month seems a lot easier than $500. So just think of it that way. All right, next is utilize our resources. So our websites are completely customized. Those of you who were with us last year saw all of the nice tools that are on each walk website in Greater Pennsylvania chapter. But we have a bunch of buttons that are on the main page if you scroll down a little bit, and you'll see things like quick start guides for how to get registered. You'll see team captain resources. You'll see the Walk Talk Wednesday button that's new this year. So if you click there, all of these trainings are going to be housed under that button, and many, many more. The next segment of this Walk Talk Wednesday will actually be a website tour. So if you would like to see what each button does and where all of our resources are, we will go into that in much more detail. Read through your team captain's packet when you receive it. So those should be being mailed out within the next week. So you'll get a hard copy and you can at least see all the resources that are in there. There are tons of ways to like plan your year of fundraising. There are ways to break things up. There are ideas. There's actually an A to Z guide that has for every letter of the alphabet, there's an idea of how to raise funds that corresponds with the letter. There's the incentive guide on the back. There's how to recruit team members. It's a very valuable resource, and it's actually available in a PDF. I know it's on Pittsburgh's website already, so those will be on everybody else's websites pretty soon. But if you would like a digital copy or anything, please let us know. But this is a very valuable resource that we will actually refer to in our coaching meetings as well. Fundraising items are available upon request. So if you need a few things here and there, like donation canisters or contribution envelopes, or sometimes we have those rubber bracelets. We don't get very many all the time, but we have pinup flowers, like point of purchase pinup flowers, a plethora of different things. We also have promise garden flowers. So if you want to do your own display or plant a garden somewhere as a fundraiser, we can also accommodate that. So talk to your coach. There's actually a button on our website that says order supplies, and you can see the availability there. And then use your imagination. There are no crazy ideas when it comes to fundraising. So the crazier, the better. I love to hear your creativity and see how we can help you make that a reality. So have fun with it. We want to put the fun in fundraising. We don't want this to be stressful. And the minute that it becomes stressful, you need to pick up the phone and call your coach because we want to take that stress off of you. Here's an example of a resource that we can provide you. So this is how to become a champion in a week. So if you cross off all these boxes, so obviously the center box is to make a self-donation, but these are reminders of maybe people you forgot to ask, breaking these up into chunks of like $5, $10, $20. So it's not as daunting. And a lot of times it's a little intimidating to ask friends and family to donate X amount of money. So breaking it up like this, they claim a square, you just cross it off. And once your bingo card's full, you will have raised $500, becoming a champion. Some of them are social media related. So we have a Facebook fundraiser with a $75 minimum goal, but most of these are pretty obtainable. We also have one for the $100 level. So if your goal is to earn your t-shirt, then we have one of these as well to help out. They are getting a little bit of a redesign. So this is last year's design with last year's logo. So just know that we will be redesigning this shortly. And these are available in PDFs as well. So if you want us to email them, you can print them off. All right, don't reinvent the wheel. So I know this seems obvious, but use your existing functions and your existing plans and turn it into a fundraiser. Literally anything can be turned into a fundraiser. So if you're having a holiday event, like a 4th of July cookout, how can we turn that into a fundraiser? Tailgates for different sporting events, that can be a fundraiser within a fundraiser. You could have cornhole and have people donating to eat or anything along those lines. Family reunions are a great one. I know that our family reunion, we have bingo every single time with lots of prizes. So what does that look like to ask for a donation of $5 to play? And that all goes to your walk team. Work events. So some places have carnivals, some people have pie your boss in the face. It's whatever you want to do. You can literally turn it into a fundraiser. Casual days, if people are back in the office, I know they're not as popular anymore since we're not 100% in the offices anymore, but make what you are already doing or what the interests of your group are, to make sure that everyone's going to have fun with this and want to participate. Not everybody can do a spaghetti dinner. Not everybody wants to do a spaghetti dinner, let's be honest. Some people can do bag bingos. Some people don't have the resources for that, but they can. Maybe their teenagers in the family love to do gaming. You can make that a fundraiser. So, literally the sky's the limit. And if you think it's too, like, if you can't figure out how to turn it into a fundraiser, call us, email us, whatever we can do to help. We will be able to help you turn it into an eventful situation that will help you reach your goals. Let your coach be your coach. I know that this seems really strange to say it like this, but your coach is your number one resource. We try to reach everyone that we can, but if you need a little extra attention, or if you just want to schedule a meeting for 15 minutes, half hour, if you want to have coffee with us, whatever works for you, schedule a meeting with us. We are your number one resource, and we are more than willing to help. We're literally just waiting for you to call or answer a voicemail that maybe we've left you, or a text message that we've left you, or an email. So just stay in contact with us. We are more than willing to help you. Once the meeting is scheduled, and actually most of us have Calendly links in our email signatures, so just keep that in mind. You can go on and see our availability right there. I know mine's available on the bottom of the website. So just keep an eye out for that. If you don't see that resource with your walk manager, because we do have a few new people, just send them an email, give them a call. We are more than willing to set this up with you. This is a great way to share your story. So when we want to get to know you. We want to know if we haven't had the chance to meet you before, or if you're newer to the organization. We want to hear your story and see how we can help you, because this is why we do what we do. We love to hear why you're involved and how we can make it a great experience for you. During this meeting, we'll also want you to share your goals. So if your goal is to become champion, then great. Which level? Let's see how we can get you there. Let's see how many months we need to plan this out. Or you have this fundraising idea? Great. Let's walk through how we can make that come to fruition. And then finally, develop a plan. So the point of each of these coaching meetings is to help you develop a plan of action. So we work backwards, like I showed you in the example before of your goals. And then we will customize each plan based on the team captain, the participant, whoever wants to meet with us. We will make it work for you. And also, don't be intimidating if fundraising isn't your quote unquote thing. This is your coach's thing. We do this every day. We want to help you. So we're just waiting for the opportunity to work with you a little bit more closely. And this screen has all of the current walk managers that are in the area. So we are geographically located. So Sarah is your Erie contact. Northwest PA would be Amy. So those are all the areas surrounding Erie. I'm in Pittsburgh. And then Natalie is Southwest PA, which is basically all around Pittsburgh. Julie is in Central Pennsylvania. Brianne is the greater Harrisburg area. Fran is in Lancaster. And then Kristen is our Northeast PA manager. So if obviously this will be available on replay. If you go to your walk website, you'll see all of our contact information listed on the walk website, but just wanted you to be aware of who is in what location. And last but certainly not least, you can do it. So there is no goal that can't be accomplished. So we want to make sure that we are doing our part to make sure that you are having a good time with us. 2, that this is a great and rewarding experience for you. 3, that we're honoring whatever individual that you are participating for. And 4, we want to make a difference, right? So everything that we do when we coach you is to make sure that our mission is one day accomplished, because I know, just like all of you, I want to be able to plant that white flower. So if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to your walk staff that is local to you. Their contact information's on the website for the walk, and set up a meeting. That's your action item. Set up a meeting with your walk manager, and everything else will fall into place. So thank you so much for joining us today. I hope that this was very helpful for you, and we look forward to seeing you at the next Walk Wednesday.